Anyway, I got to Wembley while you were heading into corporate. Those of us who were working had a debate, shall we say, with the Football Association about kit prices, which for me is the real scandal of Shirtgate. £119.99 for a kid's shirt, the authentic one. I know the replica is sort of £69. I think that's unconscionable.
You can't tell me you like that pink and blue flag, though, really, on the back of the shirt.
No, I thought that was just sort of naive. The FA should never have signed it off. I thought it was disrespectful. But
what was even more disrespectful was saying it was a nod to the 1966 training kit, which are a complete and utter nonsense. Somebody in an FA press office or somebody somewhere at Nike's gone, how are we going to get out of this one?
This is the problem with the Football Association. Your mates at the FA...
My mates at the FA.
When they negotiate with Nike, Nike, so they take the money from Nike, and the FA say, well, we're not for profit organisation, we push it back into grassroots. Try telling the parents of the kids who are wanting that shirt. But of course for Nike, it's been all over the front pages, all over the back pages. It's absolute marketing joy for them.
Somebody who was in the box with me last night was with his son and said they tried to get into the Wembley shop last night, couldn't get in, queues, mile-long queues.
It's brilliant by Nike. It's brilliant by Nike, but the cost is unforgivable. Anyway, how was your jolly?
Well, it wasn't a jolly because I was partly working, so I was there to watch, observe, learn for programmes like this, and indeed, while I was in that box, observed Endrick scoring for Brazil, a brilliant young player who's featured all over the back pages and the front of the pullouts today. 17 years old, the youngest player ever to score at Wembley for club or country. Yeah,
he looks a talent, clearly. I mean, he's going to Real Madrid. I mean, what a player he is. Probably could have had a second as well. I did enjoy your headline, Teenage Dricks, for us Undertones fans.
Isn't he little?
He's tiny.
Little, stocky, bit Maradona looking like, I thought.
He walked through the mix zone afterwards in his sliders, and I just thought he's like half term. He just looks so young, but just completely at ease. He's got that Bellingham, just that sort of calm, that composure, that aura. I belong here.
Yeah, but as you said, could have had a second. What a story that would have been if you got that one as well. Not that I wanted England to win, get a draw, but from a story point of view, he was, it wasn't the hardest goal to score, but if you put the second one away, wow. So Brazil, I thought I think they lost 4 on the spin.
Three World Cup qualifiers on the spin.
They look pretty accomplished to me.
Yeah, I thought Paquetá was outstanding.
He's putting it about a bit.
He was putting it about a bit, and he probably easily could have been sent off because of his nibbles at Bellingham after being booked on Stones.
Just gave our card to Lucas Paquetá.
Very good. Is that what you were saying in the
just
corporate seats?
Yeah. But he was putting it about a bit.
So what was the view from the corporate seats? Was there a sort of, let's have some perspective? England had an unbeaten.
I know you get lost in your press box bubble and you all agree about what the performance was like and you all decide for the papers in the morning, but amongst us, we actually thought there was some good individual performances by certain England players without necessarily it being a great team performance. Gordon, but Gordon, again, I think I've mentioned this to you before. I don't know if he can sustain 90 minutes, and you said to me that doesn't matter because he'll be coming on as a sub. But there is a feeling around Newcastle that he does fade later on in the games, that he may not be fit enough to get right through. But he definitely showed his moments. And Bowen, when he came on, who's probably knows he's got to impress in a very short space of time.
It can't be stressed enough that it's a 23-man squad, not 26, which it was for the last two. So,
and of course, we'll get onto him later, but I thought Kobe Mainoo on the ball, the ability to slow the game down, look around, have the confidence to look around and pick his pass was excellent when he came on.
Okay, so it was an evening of teenagers if you're looking at Endrick and if you're looking at Kobe Mainoo. But don't you think when it comes down to it, Southgate will start Henderson alongside Rice?
I hope not, because I do think that looking forward, Mainoo looks like he belongs in that sort of situation. And of course, and I'm sure we'll get on to you later, your mate Alexander-Arnold, the best player in the Premier League, in your view, seems to be that you want him to play there as well, won't you?
Best player in the Premier League.
Well, you want him to play there.
Probably this season it's been arguably Phil Foden.
Okay.
Rice.
Anyway, you want Alexander-Arnold to play there.
Yeah, I do, because I think last night showed that delivery that he can play is just huge. Just to break that.
You probably
press.
Can't take Alexander-Arnold, Mainoo, and Henderson without a big sacrifice somewhere else?
Depends what happens at right back. And a penny to the thoughts of Ben White when Kyle Walker went off and there were changes at centre-half as well.
I haven't got any time for Ben White
I
anymore.
agree. I agree with you. But
we're not going to go back begging him to come, surely.
No, definitely not. And it'd be interesting if England do well at the Euros or they win a trophy in the next 10 years, Ben White's kids ever say to him, Daddy, where are you?
Yeah, it was strange with Kyle Walker, actually, because he seemed to run off the pitch to me when he got substituted. It was almost like, well, it's a little bit of a tweak, but let's just be cautious and get off. And don't get me wrong, Kyle Walker's brilliant for England, brilliant for City.
He's so committed for England.
But it didn't seem that bad, put it that way.
No, but I actually thought Konza, when he came on, did a good job. And I think Konza might have sort of inched, how do we say it, sort of closer towards departures. Has he got his ticket for the flight to the Euros? I just think his versatility, the fact that he can play right back and centre back, as he's shown with Aston Villa, I think that definitely helps him.
But looking at back pages as well on other things apart from England, what else have you picked out?
Are there other things than England that exist in the world? Well, I mean, Sammy Mockbell's piece in the Mail on Sunday, FA top brass to get shirt shrift. The Football Association will seek greater involvement from within multiple departments inside the organisation when signing off future England kits.
So who did decide it then in the first place?
The now departed former FA commercial director Navin Singh was ultimately responsible for approving. Do you know what shocked me was the fact that, and we talked to Stones and Southgate about this at St George's in midweek, that neither the players nor the management had any sight of this shirt before it was cleared. Actually, I don't know how bothered the players in Southgate are. They're slightly more worried, more concerned about the performances within the shirt than what's on them. And actually, as they keep stressing, it's the three lines that's the most important thing. But I can remember on the eve of Euro 96 when the FAs had a good look at the three lines and slightly worried they might actually be leopards. And they actually got one of the FA in-house designers to slightly tweak the eyes and I think the ears. I'm not a great was it David Bellamy sort of expert on the difference between lions and leopards, but apparently their difference is...
There is a difference.
Is there a difference?
They do look a bit different, a lion and a leopard.
Okay, but in heraldic terms, we're slightly going back in time here. They weren't so different, but anyway, that's happened before, but for me, the scandal of Shirtgate is the cost.